We are live, and I told him I love your name.
Thank you.
It's Ocean. And she's going to talk about all kinds of stuff about volunteering because, guys, let's face it, this community is amazing. And there's so many good people that really make our foundation very, very strong. And part of that is the work that you guys even do at your charity, at your place, Guardian Angel Hospice, and the volunteers. They make it extra special. They make the program work, and they truly bring a lot of heart to this community. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, volunteers are a very big part of our organization. We include them in our group. So some of the things that they do for us, and they make them sound kind of little, but office stuff, normal office things that you would have them do, like answer the phones, filing. One of the big things right now that I'm looking for someone to do is help put our charts together. We had a longtime volunteer who needed to take a break, and I kind of feel bad because I guess I didn't realize how much she was doing until she's gone, and we were like, ah! So looking for someone.
She really needed a break.
Look, she did, and I guess I didn't realize even how much she did until some of the little things, and they were like, Maggie did it like this, Maggie did it like that, and I really miss Maggie. So,
Maggie, they love you.
We miss Maggie. So they do things around the office, but also other little projects that might come up, and I'll get hey, can we get a volunteer to do, whatever that may be. So I need a big pool for that. And we use volunteers in every county that we're in. Right now I'm targeting Kokomo. I'm getting a little low on the Kokomo side, which is unheard of because usually that's my biggest group. So things to do in the office, like I said, projects, office type work. And then the other thing is to see our patients. And they actually do go visit our patients.
Okay.
They see them wherever they are. Not everybody wants a volunteer, and some need a lot of help. So the thing I like to tell my volunteers is it's however much they want to do. Some have a lot of time to give, some only have an hour. That hour can be just as much as 6. So see volunteers, and they don't do anything, or see patients. They don't do anything that a nurse would do or a home health aide. They're visiting, they might help cook, they might just watch TV with them. They might help do Christmas cards, at Christmas time. So to tell you everything they can do, we'd be here all day.
And that was one of my questions when you started into that. If I wanted to volunteer to go into the homes, I don't have to have special skills. I don't have to have...
We do training, and that's a good question. The bulk of our training right now, we've got a take-home program. I found that when I tell people, oh, we need you to come in for 8 to 10 hours, I got, I don't know if I have that. So we got a training that is mostly take home, and it's a book, and there's DVDs. They take that home, and then they do about an hour and a half or so with me or my assistant. And then we finish up. It's kind of like building their chart. So get them a name tag. We do a criminal check, which we pay for. We do a TB test. So we get their stuff ready for that, and their training is with that. But as far as like special stuff, they're not doing any of that nursing type stuff that or giving medicine or anything like that.
Would it be just everyday activities like laundry or possibly doing the dishes or things like that?
More than anything, what I get a request for is, we call it respite care. The caregiver just needs to get out, and sometimes it'll be like, I don't even know what I want to do. I need to go somewhere
to get that moment of silence.
Absolutely.
Because again, what people don't really understand is if you're in a situation where you're constantly giving care to a loved one, it can get a little hectic. On top of the stress of knowing what's going to happen, of the medical problems that you're facing, of just everyday life, of bills, of your work, of your job, of your children, all of that really does weigh on a person. And those volunteers actually come in, speaking of the respite, and giving that caregiver, whoever it is, that moment of, I'm just going to run to the grocery store.
Or just go for a walk.
Yes.
Or take the dog for a walk or something like that. If we don't take care of the caregiver, who's going to take care of our patient? So when, hospice comes in, we take care of everyone. It's the whole holistic approach, and we take care of the whole family. So that includes the caregiver. Most people don't realize that.
And truly, there's a lot involved, but a lot of that gets forgotten as well. It kind of gets pushed to the background where people don't think of that, and that's where you guys even come in and say, hey, look, we can help you. This is what you're facing, and this is what we need to do, and the steps we need to take to get there. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and some of the other things that we have volunteers do that I don't always get to talk about like in the very beginning is Comfort Angels. That is a group of volunteers who, they have a little bit more training, and they sit with someone who is actively dying. Now, some families, that's great. They're there for their loved one, but there are some people who have nobody. So a facility might call and say, your patient they've started to decline, and it looks like they might be by themselves. And so we try to get a block of time where we have volunteers go in 2-3 hours at a time and sit with them as they're dying so that nobody dies by themselves. And I definitely need more people to do that.
Sure.
Some people only want to do that.
Really?
Some are fine. You call me any hour of the day and I'll come. And then there are some that are, okay, just whatever you need me to do. And then I have some that are like, I really want to help your cause, but I don't think I can see patients. So I think I'd rather answer your phones, or I'd rather make your charts, or, you know, that kind of thing. So, and whatever, because it's not for everybody.
And not to hijack that, but when you go into the hospital room or when you go to their home, when you know that the end is near, what goes through those volunteers' minds to actually prepare them for that type of a volunteerism?
We talk about like I said, it's not for everybody.
Sure.
Some people are like, you know,
absolutely.
I don't know that that's for me. And that's okay. I appreciate that honesty. This is somebody's final journey. So if you're going to be on it, I want you to know you want to be there. You know, so we try to make sure they're ready the best that we can. But I'm sure that for some people it's, you know, oh my gosh, but what we in our society, in Guardian Angel and in the hospice world, it's normal. It's what we're expecting. It's what we're preparing for. So we do our best to prepare them for the signs and symptoms that the end is near.
Sure.
How to comfort someone, what someone may need, that kind of thing. So I think we do a really good job of making sure that they're ready.
And we've talked to Kelly a little bit about the details and things like that, because honestly, some things that you just don't imagine that you guys actually do prepare people for, along with your volunteers. Now, can we back up a little bit and say, how do I actually start becoming a volunteer? What do I need as far as a mindset goes, and maybe how do I get in contact with you guys?
Well, there's a couple ways. You can call the office, 453-7702, or you can stop in. We're at 513 West Lincoln, and you can get an application. We start with an application always. It's just got some questions, a little bit about yourself, and some questions about like what you think you might want to do. And I'll elaborate on those when we have our second meeting after they do their training. But they would come in and start there, and it's kind of like an interview.
Sure.
You know, just to kind of see. I've had people come through the interview process and we're not even done, and they're like, yep, this is not for me. Really? And that's okay. That's okay. But I'd rather do that than them start the training and then be like, I don't think this is for me. So we just do it. It's just an interview process.
How do you prepare those people for that? I mean, without getting into real world experience, how do they know kind of what to expect?
A lot of people already come with some experience.
Wow.
And that's kind of what brought them there. I don't have very many people who come and say, I don't know anyone that's ever died. Most people have.
Sure.
So we talk about that, even starting with pets. Some people have lost pets, and that's where they are. But and then in the training, it goes into some detail. It talks about what to expect at the end of life. And
that's part of the DVD program that you've sent home?
Yep. And then we do in-services throughout the year with our volunteers, meetings and such, where they come, and we might touch on that. We went to a field trip to a funeral home before. You know, it was interesting. I learned a lot by going and doing that. So
you probably do. We're going to take a quick break, though, and we're going to be right back with even more from Ocean, because there's all kinds of volunteer programs available for you guys to take advantage of. So we'll be right back. We are back, and you guys are full of opportunities for people from clerical work on up. So let's start at the very beginning and say, where's the biggest need right now for Kokomo?
It's the same. We need it. We need office people and to see patients. I would say, when I said charts earlier and how bad I miss Maggie, and I hope she hears this and knows how bad we miss her.
Please think about coming back. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Maggie actually went home to be a caregiver.
Nice.
So, yeah, she had to be a caregiver. But I need people in the office, and I need them to be out and about seeing our patients. And then another need, I was just thinking on the break, is that our foundation that's affiliated with us, that's on Sycamore, they need help in their office too.
Wow.
So if somebody would be interested in helping out on the foundation side, they do our fundraising.
Oh, okay.
So there's you can imagine the paperwork they have there, and
one
phone
or two,
calls, and
three or four sheets maybe.
Yeah. So if somebody's interested in helping in that capacity, maybe the foundation has helped them at one time and they want to give back, they can still call the office, 453-7702, and talk to me, and I can hook them up with the girls over at the foundation too.
But what I don't think people realize is, because you guys are those workers that are in our background, and let's be honest, you are part of what people don't like to talk about. There's that stigma of, it's not going to happen, but it's inevitable.
Right.
You guys service a lot of counties, is that correct?
23 counties.
23 counties. And is the hub here, or how does that work?
This is our corporate office in Kokomo. We do have an office, an active open office in Tippecanoe County in Lafayette on Creasy Lane, and we have one in Logansport. That's another area I need volunteers too, is in Logansport. So,
but maybe you kind of are up in Logansport visiting, or you're over in Lafayette, and you can take that. Those volunteers can literally travel anywhere. It's really up to them.
They can, and it's totally up to them. We do pay mileage to our volunteers, just like our staff. We treat them like our staff. So, except for they don't get a paycheck, and I feel bad saying that, but that's what they always say is, we don't get a paycheck.
But let's be honest.
Their paycheck's bigger.
It is bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, let's truly be honest here. I know it's a subject, we've talked about this when you guys have been on the program before. It's a subject nobody really likes to talk about, but the feeling that you can give those families, and knowing that you were a part of being bigger than a paycheck is more beneficial than
and it's an honor too. It's an honor to be invited into someone's life at that time of their life, you know, for you to be able to do even just the smallest things for them. So I remember when I said it's not for everybody, one of the biggest questions I've gotten for 9 years of doing this is, how do you do that? And my answer is, how do you not? But that's my thing. Some people, it's not their thing, and I don't want somebody on the journey that doesn't want to be there.
Sure. And I'm sorry I just hijacked you, but there's all kinds of other things in all kinds of counties. Again, it's clerical, paperwork, volunteering as getting donations and things like that. What does it take let's talk about the Sycamore Place a little bit. What does it take to actually be a volunteer there when we're fundraising?
We mean, like, what would they do? When they start, getting donations or decorating, all those things, we also take in donations from family members. Like, we've had somebody in service, and the little blurb in the obituary that says donations made to, they might take those in, and they have to log those, track those, send thank you notes. It can be overwhelming, especially when all that's happening in the middle of a fundraising event. Like, we're getting ready for a car show.
Right.
And a golf outing. I mean, there's different things. And that
Spring is on its way.
Yes. Nice weather, and you have all that stuff you can do. But they help with that kind of thing. So, and they, like I said, they can just call the office and talk to me, and I can redirect them to the girls at the foundation over there too. So,
and lastly, though, before we leave, I want you to talk to people directly and say, if you're even thinking about it, or if you're looking for something to do in the community, why choose Guardian Angel?
I think that well, you put me on the spot. I think that
it's what I do.
Well, I think we're a great organization, or I wouldn't be there for so long. I love the people that we work with, and I love what we do. I love their heart. And so when we get that right volunteer, I usually know within 15 minutes of talking to someone, this is a good one. I just do. I mean, the people that are just servants. And I think that our volunteers have true servants' heart, and our employees as well. I mean, we love to help those people in any way we can. I can tell you any number of times we've been in a meeting and somebody has said, this family really could use a whatever it may be, air conditioner, and everybody's going, I've got $20, I've got $5, I can do whatever. That's what our staff does, and our volunteers are great too. So I just think we're a good organization to be a part of, and I think that we really truly give to those people at the end of their life.
And as far as a volunteer goes, if they're part of this process that nobody likes to talk about, do you think that they actually benefit as well?
Oh, I definitely think so. You can look up and see, Google it. Google the health benefits of volunteering and look at some of the things that hospice volunteers say. I think that it really definitely opens up your eyes to some things. It does make you think about your own mortality, but that's okay. You should be thinking about those things. People put more time into planning a vacation than they do planning their end of their life and what that journey is going to be like.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Well, I know we're going to have you guys back because honestly, there's so much, as you said earlier, there's so much we could fill days and days and days of conversation. So it is Volunteer Month.
Yep.
And take your opportunity. At least give it a try. Come in, stop by, see if maybe this is something that you can do.
Just ask the questions. Just ask the questions, because you may start asking and think, this is something for me. Or you may say, nah, not for me. But you won't know if you don't ask.
But that hour that you might have, or that 2 hours that you may have, really may be the benefit to somebody that you may never understand.
Absolutely.
So thank you. One more time, give the contact information so that people have it.
453-7702, or you can go to gahospice.com and look at our volunteer stuff on there as well. Feel free to call.
Lots of counties, lots of opportunity, lots and lots and lots of places that you can make a huge impact in someone else's life. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.